Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Today our group would like to present about ethics in investment. Before we proceed our presentation, I would like to introduce our presenter. First presenter is Muhammad Haziqaiman. The second presenter is Ahmad Aiman. Third presenter is Muhammad Akmal. And the last presenter is Muhammad Amsyar. Okay, next we go to the table of content, which is number 1 is introduction, number 2 concept ethic in investment, number 3 ethic in investment, number 4 halal investment, number 5 case study, and number 6 is conclusion.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Haziqaiman bin Ahmad Tabarani. Before we begin our presentation, let me start with introduction. So, what is ethical investment? Okay, ethical investment mean investing in line with your principle, supporting company that benefit the community and avoiding those whose products and service or business practice you find morally objectionable. So the other meaning of ethical investment in general is ethical investing give the individual the power to allocate capital toward companies who practice and value align with their personal belief. Some beliefs are rooted in environmental, religious or political percept. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Haziqaiman bin Ahmad Tabarani. The topic of my presentation is the concept of ethics. In this presentation, I will divide into 2 parts, which is the definition and the evidence. Without further ado, I start my presentation with the definition of ethics. Some people ask, what is ethics? Well, the term of ethics is derived from the Greek word ethos, which originally means custom or character. Broadly construed, ethics is a branch of philosophy that studies the rightness or wrongness of a human action. According to Mark Picasso 2019, dictionaries list several different definitions for the word ethics. The primary definition is a system of moral principle, and a secondary definition is that ethics are the rule of conduct as used by specific group or culture. The final definition of ethics is a branch of philosophy dealing with value relating to human conduct with respect to the right and wrong of certain action and their respective motive and consequences. Next, we move to the definition of investment. So, what is investment? Well, investment is the act of committing money or capital to a business, project or real estate with the expectation of obtaining additional income or profit. According to Sean Grimsley, investment is using money to purchase asset in the hope that the asset will generate income over time or appreciate over time. For example, I purchased 100 shares to a company anticipating dividend from this share. In this case, shares are my investment and I am anticipating dividends income from the investment made. Previously, we had learned about the definition of ethics and investment. For this moment, we will learn and observe the definition of ethics in investment. So, what is ethics in investment? According to Wilkinson 2019, he said that ethical investment can be referred to the practice of using one ethical principle as a primary filter for the selection of securities investing. So this brings me to the end of my presentation. I hope you will a bit clear about the concept of ethic investment. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Aiman bin Ahmad Fadhil Shuhaimi. I am the second presenter for our group with the topic of ethical investment. We'll briefly explain the subtopic that I will explain to you guys, which is firstly 3.0 ethical investment, 3.1 ethical on investor, and the last one is 3.2 ethical on institution from Islamic view. Okay, let's proceed to the slide. Just like in common investment, investor existence are one of the main components. I mean, if there is no investor, it is not called investment, right? Ethics in investor are essential from Islamic view as it can help Muslims to gain the highest opportunity to achieve the next successful in investment while obey the order and avoid the prohibition from Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. First and foremost, the first ethic that should have in investor is wasatiyah. What is wasatiyah? Wasatiyah in Arabic signifies center. This idea delivers a moderate, just and the best methodology. It is planned for adjusting extraordinary and over-the-top demonstration in each part of a man's life, keeping low profile, or which means still having consideration where investor invest their capital but still thinking about others is one of the most important components to maintain their humanity toward others. Just imagine, there is no wasatiyah ethic in the investor. They for sure will gain a lot of money and rule over the weak, where the weak or the poor will still poor and the rich will always remain rich. This is prohibited in Islamic studies as we all are connected to each other and must always helping and ignore the difference between the status. Therefore, when the wasatiyah concept is practiced in our daily life, people will not have an extremist attitude at the end of the life spectrum when adhering to a belief, which is to accept the belief as it is. By Abdullah Basmai, 2001. We move to the next point, which is investor must absolutely prevent from any kind of investment that offer riba. Riba can be defined as increase in property without replacement, inside and exchange of property with a property another, based on Hanafi's view. Riba activities are known to all of the Muslims as one of the illegal activities that is completely haram. The most significant limitation is that an Islamic financial specialist must maintain a strategic distance from riba in any structure. Why riba must be prevented? Because riba can cause harms to humans. If followed by investment activities, riba can be found in many non-Sharia compliant securities. It is different from the Islamic investment as we invest our capital in the asset, not in them. But not least, trying to search as much as possible for halal investment. Just like that I have stated before in the previous point that we as Muslim, we must prevent any kind of investment that offer riba. But from what scope is that? It is the scope of haram. Basically, we must prevent ourselves from invest our capital to any kind of institution that run an illegal activity such as drug, human trafficking and alcohol. But from the decision from SAC or Sharia Advisory Council, that mixed company is allowed for Muslim investors as long as the illegal activity from the company are not exceed the benchmark. This is occurred for to ensure Muslims have a huge platform to invest their money. Okay, that's all for 3.0 and 3.1. Let's proceed to 3.2, which is ethic by Islamic investment institution view. In this subtopic, I want to discuss two ethics that institutions should have. Firstly, is not consuming, and second one is be punctual. According to Dumale and Sabkani 2002, it is assumed that the growth of ethical banking has given Islamic banking some boost. Many scholars claim that the concept of ethical banking based on Islamic banking, as cited in Gilani 2015. Based on Dumale and Sabkani 2002, also the ethical prerogative and socio-economic growth thus become outstanding determinants of the Islamic funding modes. For the first point, which is not concealing from the ethic view means that any kind of institution that run an investment activity must disclose all the information that the investor needs to know. about such as what business is being run, what is the benefit that the investor has, and how much time it will take to get the investment returns. This is important to prevent investor from getting into trouble, such as because it can create ghara situation which is not allowed by Islam. It is also important for the investment institution to win the hearts of investors, as they are confident of this institution to give them a decent return while operating in a way that is allowed by Sharia. And to the last point, which is punctual, it is one of the responsibility of the institution to determine the date set by them to either return the investor profit, income, or to notify the investor that their investment is not gaining any return. Because of what? It makes it easier for investors to know the status of the investment so they don't have to wait. Okay, that is from me. I hope that my explanation is crystal clear, and I hope that you guys learn something new from me. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and have a nice day.
Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Akmal bin Adnan. Before I start my presentation, I would like to ask you a question. Do you know how to make our money to long lasting for our future? If you do not, the answer is we can invest our money to long lasting the money for our future. In my subtopic, I will explain to all of you about halal investment that you can involve to make your money long lasting. Okay, the first one is IREIT. IREIT stands for Islamic Real Estate Investment Trust. IREIT is a platform for Muslim investors to invest their money in real estate such as hospital, factories, house that followed by Sharia compliant. There are two types of REIT. The first one is IREIT and the second one is C-REIT. IREIT is I stand for Islamic, and the second one is C-REIT. C stand for convention. The property that invested in IREIT must follow the Sharia as long as there are no illegal activity which is prohibited in Islam, such as alcoholic drink. Investors that invest in IREIT rather buy property by their own because it is affordable and do not need a huge capital, and also convenient and trusted. IREIT also allow investors to make money on real estate without having own property or manage physical property. Example for IREIT is Aziz, Al-Akhar, and KLCCP. We move to the second of halal investment, which is Islamic Unit Trust. Islamic Unit Trust is a platform for the investor, especially for Muslims, to save their money. Islamic Unit Trust is one of agency which is investor will invest their money with them, and then Islamic Unit Trust will invest consistently financial. In Islamic Unit Trust, the decision is made by the manager and not by investor. Investing in unit trust will give you low risk, low gain. Even low risk and low gain, we can still get our profit and prevent any losing of money. The example of Islamic Unit Trust is, the first one is Kenangan Syariah Growth Fund, which is provide 9.43%. The second one is East Spring Investment Dana Al-Ilham, which provide 8.92%. The third one is Dana Makmur Fame, which is provide 8.46%. Okay, next we move to another subtopic in halal investment, which is Sukuk. For who do not know, Sukuk is based on Islamic certificate. Sukuk also based on Sharia contract. There are several types of contract that include in Sukuk. For example, Mudarabah and Musyarakah. As a Muslim, we need to buy Sukuk because we cannot support the bond, because bond basically is support the prohibited activities such as alcoholic drink. Basically, suku and bond are same in product but operation different. Suku is tradable. What is the tradable? After we buy a suku, and in certain time, if we do not interest anymore into that suku, we can sell that suku, say Islamic certificate to other, but as long as the maturity date not yet.
Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Amsyar. Okay, we go to the next slide, which is about ethic in investment case study. Okay, first of all, we take Islamic Bank as our case study. Okay, we go through to the case study. Okay, Islamic bankers need an ethical identity because their business philosophy is tied to Islam. Basically, we know Islamic Bank is the identity of Islam attitudes. Thus, Islamic Bank cannot be separate with the Islamic ethic because Islamic Bank follow the Sharia compliant. In other words, Islamic banks perform in accordance with the consign or practical interest of believing Muslims. Okay, next, already operating at a global level, the Islamic banking system is currently spreading fast throughout the world. Okay, we can see that many countries have their Islamic banks, while conventional banks also follow the ethical in Islamic investment, such as United Bank of Switzerland, that we can choose from local bank like Islamic Maybank, Islamic CIMB Bank. Okay, there are 5 of Islamic banking ethics that distinguish it from conventional banking, to be included in its annual report on the underlying philosophy and values inherent Islamic banking. The provision of free products and services, limited Islamic receipts, concentration for development and social purpose, and for review by the Sharia Supervisor Board. Okay, next. Islamic financial institutions need to have social responsibility due to two very related reasons: that it fulfills the requirements of Islamic finance or Muslims. It means so they are in a position to fulfill a large scope of responsibilities that cannot be fulfilled by Muslims individually. Second, they are exemplary in a society as a financial institutions. There are 3 basic principles of Islamic social responsibility that are human as caliphate, accountable, and call for good and forbid evils. Okay, the Islamic banks aim to establish distributive justice free from all sorts of exploitation. Okay, as we know that Islamic banking aims the social justice through forbidding all forms of economic activities which are morally or socially injurious, such as riba, gharar, maisir, fraud, corruption, and more that against to the Sharia compliant. Okay, next we go to the next slide, which is about current issues that have happened in Malaysia in this year. I got 2 cases, which is the first one is arrest man is believed to be involved in 21 cases of forex investment fraud. This case I got from Bernama, which is about investment fraud that has deceived 21 people. Wow. Okay, besides, I also got one from Berita Harian. The latest one is which is about immigration target fraud syndicate used the largest online, which is 680 arrests. This is the biggest scam in Malaysia, involving the country using online transactions. Here we can see how ethics is important in investing. Therefore, investor should make a research before invest. Okay, you know what is forex? Forex is illegal, right? Because fatwa police have been decided that forex is illegal because it have gharar, maisir, fraud, corruption, and many more. Therefore, according to Masadul Alam Qaduri, scholars of Islamic economics have chosen some basic rules. Okay, the first one is the Islamic social system emphasizes the needs of use and comfort of life. All Islamic scholars accepted the scheme and the use of luxury is prohibited. The second is excessive consumption spending of this type of property. It is not advisable to waste spending on factors. Third, investment is in essence another benefit for the basic development and comfort of life. Therefore, over time, more capital is required to increase production and to know how to develop, improve and expand it. Because Prophet Muhammad said to the effect, one time when he went out with the Prophet to a place of prayer, he saw a crowd of people buying and selling. He said, "O merchants." They responded to the call of the Prophet. Looking down at His Majesty, the Prophet said, "On the day of judgment, the traders will be raised as evil, except those who fear Allah, do good and be honest." Narrated by At-Tirmidhi. Okay, we go to the last slide, which is conclusion. Okay, investment is made to bring profit to the investors. Therefore, it is more like a competition where most investors to become richer than others. Okay, Muslim investors recommended not to just invest once in their life, especially for those who have extra capital. It means this way can help the growth of Islamic business rapidly, as well as generate more profit for the investors, but should be keep in mind that the more invest, the high risk. Okay, next suggestions. Investment activity is one of the top priority that Muslims should empower as a community, not just owned by only one Muslim investor, to ensure that we Muslims will succeed together against the non-Muslims who are currently dominating the world with illegal activity. Okay, we as a Muslim must follow the Sharia compliant, because Allah said in the Quran that Allah permitted sale, but Allah prohibited usury. So we must prevent from any prohibited thing that against to Allah, because we as a Muslim should get the blessing of Allah. Okay, last but not least, the government should provide more chance of work and create new type of work that can give people employed, as well as open the chance to the business to grow. Okay, which is it can help people open a business to generate income and even encourage the public to invest using the right ethics.
Okay, that's all from us. Hope you guys understand and enjoy with our presentation. Assalamualaikum.